Welcome back to the Pro Sports Podcasters on YouTube. My name is Cobe and Amy. Today I got my wife Amy with me.
Hi.
And this is a new segment we're doing on the show, and that's each week during the NFL season, Amy and I are going to select our favorite QB, running back, wide receiver, and tight end on the PPR format, which is very similar to OTM Rumble. It's going to use the exact same scoring system. And we're going to pick our favorites in each category and keep a running total over the season to find out which one of us had the better picks. So today, it begins. This is our first time, so let's see who gets off to the early start. I've got my pick selected. Amy's got her pick selected, and we'll get right into it. So this being a quarterback-driven league, we're going to start off with the quarterbacks in the NFL, and I'll let Amy kick it off.
So for week one, I have to go with the obvious, and that's Lamar Jackson. And the reason I call it obvious is because he's playing the Jets. With Lamar Jackson, you have both a quarterback and a running back, and I just feel like he's going to dominate the Jets like he did in his very first season against Miami.
Okay, that's a fair pick. I think that's a chalk, really. A lot of people are saying Lamar Jackson's going to have a great week one. Now, I'm not really going that far off the reservation either, but I'm going with Patrick Mahomes, and a couple of reasons here. Number one, he looked fantastic during the preseason. You saw him, the limited usage in the preseason looked just absolutely great. Number two, he's against an Arizona defense that's gotten weaker in the offseason. It's not as good, and they're without DeAndre Hopkins to start the season, so I have a feeling Kyler may have a little bit of trouble moving the chains, and we're going to see a lot of Pat Mahomes in that game. That equals fantasy points. I'm on Pat Mahomes. Now let's move on to the running backs, and I'll kick it off in the beginning, and I'm going with the resurgence of King Henry. I'm going with Derrick Henry here. Derrick Henry is an absolute beast on a team that was the AFC winner of the regular season last season. Yes, they've lost some targets, but that just means that Derrick Henry's going to be asked to do more. I like his chances here. He's against the New York Giants. They got a very weak defense. 100% I'm in on Derrick Henry being all the offense for the Titans. Amy?
You're going to say this is an obvious pick for me, but I got to go with my man, Christian McCaffrey. He is 100% healthy, and I think this is going to be a revenge game for Baker. I think Baker's just going to feed Christian McCaffrey all day.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to get revenge on your former team, you might as well feed the number one fantasy target, period, in NFL football. I like the return of Christian McCaffrey. When he's healthy, he's literally one of the best. So,
he's number one in my books.
So I get that. That's a pretty simple pick. Now we're going to move on to wide receivers, and you can go ahead, continue on. Who's your wide receiver?
Well, since you say I keep taking the obvious picks, I'm going to go with another obvious pick, and it's the number one wide receiver in the league, Davante Adams. It's literally going to be a heyday for Derek Carr. He's going to feed Davante Adams all day. Davante Adams is going to be his number one target, and I'm just going to leave it at that.
Yeah, that's a pretty safe pick, although I wouldn't say that's super chalky because there's a lot of people wondering, will Derek Carr have the connection with Adams that he had back in college? There's some question marks there, but I do think it's a pretty smart pick in a game that's sure to be high scoring against the LA Chargers. I'm going to go way off the reservation here, and I'm actually going with Courtland Sutton. Now, the reason I'm picking Sutton is no surprise because I'm a Denver Broncos fan. It's not because I'm a Denver Broncos fan, okay? I'm going with Sutton because it's the first game with Russell Wilson as a Denver Bronco. He's in his former house in Seattle. He's going against a decimated Seattle defense and Geno Smith at the helm on the offense. They're going to have plenty of opportunities. He's going to find somebody, and I'm betting it's Courtland Sutton. It could be Jerry Jeudy, but my money's on Courtland Sutton here. He's the more experienced target, the bigger downfield threat. So that's what I'm going with. I'm expecting a big game from both Russell and Courtland, but I think Courtland gets a ridiculous number of fantasy points in the first week. Now we'll do the tight ends, and I'll start off with my tight end, and this is the most chalky of chalk picks that I've made this week, and that's going to be Mark Andrews. And it's simple, right? He's the only target, really, proven target on the Baltimore Ravens. Yes, you've got Rashad Bateman there, but what can he do? We don't know yet, right? We're going with Mark Andrews is going to be the one that Lamar Jackson looks to when he can't do it himself. He needs that third down conversion. He needs that big target in the end zone. It's going to be Mark Andrews against the New York Jets. Come on, let's be serious. The Jets are improving, but they're not quite there yet. I expect the Baltimore Ravens to blow them out, and Mark Andrews is going to be a reason for that.
So I'm going with the face of tight end day. I got to go with my George Kittle. Top 3 tight end in the league. And I think he's going to be the most reliable target for Trey Lance. making his first real start in San Francisco. So I think that's a solid pick for me.
See, I think her picks are all based on guys she follows on Instagram. I think this is going on here. It's some of her favorite
It
people
works.
she follows. Right? But those are our picks for week 1. Let us know in the comments who you think's made the better picks. Who do you think's going to finish this week with more fantasy points? And we're going to have our next episode for you same time next week. Till next time.